Hello, my friends, and welcome to another D.VA 8 My podcast. My name is Bull Skunk. I've got Airborne, I've got Knight Rider, I've got your lovely host, Ocean, and once again, our very, very special guest, Chef Billy.
Yeah, no, this is my week to host, and we're all super excited about this. But quick introduction to this week's podcast. We are gonna go through Overwatch League and review. Then we're gonna go into console watch, and we're gonna say goodbye to two very famous orgs in RC. Then we're gonna talk some esports. We're gonna talk about Monte Cristo and what he's getting up to, and then we'll move on to some get good hype provided by Elo Hell Esports. And then we'll have a little bit of fun and ask everyone what's the funniest offer they've ever received. Totally not, sort of enlightened by an offer I received last week, but we'll move on.
It's a selfish topic there, Mr. Host. Selfish topic.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I am our new host, because our other host wasn't stubborn enough, clearly. Anyways, and then we will talk about a new signing for the LA Gladiators. Will that unlock their potential in the double hit scan meta? And then we'll get our Overwatch League preview and predictions, and then obviously the outro. Why did I include the outro in our list? Jesus, not very good at this host thing, am I? Anyways,
I guess we gotta have an outro this week then.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. That's how we start a podcast. That's how we start a podcast.
So I just gotta ask, Airborne, bring you the bitch.
Apparently.
So keeping the ship sailing and moving on to inconsistent bitches, let's talk about the Seoul Dynasty when they faced the New York Excelsior this week.
Let's, because it's all a matter of what Seoul is going to show up. And I think the big question was them getting so far in the Melee a complete and utter fluke?
Yes. Pretty easy question to answer. But actually, before we get in, I actually forgot this. I had this whole planned out and everything, and I completely forgot. I want to talk about our special guest, because he's here every week now, but he is still a special guest, and that is definitely important. But Billy last week is Elo Hell performance. This kid bloody level up. That's the best broadcast I've ever seen him do. It was absolutely amazing. If you haven't got to go back and listen to it, it's absolutely amazing. Like, one of the best color commentaries I've heard in a while. It was so good. I mean, it also did help that I was playing Xenoblade at the same time, so I was in a good mood, but well done, Mr. Hill.
Well done, Billy.
But anyways, back to Overwatch League. Other than the Seoul Dynasty versus New York Excelsior and the Seoul Dynasty being complete shit, were there any other stories that stood out to any of you? We'll start with Airborne.
Stories that stood out to me, generally, did Toronto signing of a new main tank actually get them as a better team? Because originally when they faced Vancouver, it was a 3-2. Now it's just straight up 3-0. And was that determination of them playing them a second time in a row, essentially, for twice in 2 weeks? Or was that them signing new players, bringing in new blood, and maybe we're going to see a new Toronto?
I think that we're going to have to see him against a different opponent before we can get an answer on that.
So we actually saw Surefour.
I love you some Surefour.
I think it's more Agility's got benched.
Agility's got benched? Yeah.
I think a lot of that is Agility's has had some really shit performances this season. But Numlocked, and we should talk about Numlocked because he's a very experienced, one of the older guys in esports. He played in Los Angeles Valiant, basically on the bench for the entirety of Season 1. And then is now back in Overwatch League under Toronto Defiant. One of the older guys in esports. He's like 27, and he is now Washington Justice main tank. Has spent a lot of time in European contenders, but I mean, he was impressive in his opening showing.
Yeah, Tuck. Definitely not one of the young guns in OWL. And still killing it. Like, Numlock is still looking absolutely solid. Like, he doesn't look on the going outs, you know?
I mean, there are a lot of older guys. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of older guys now in the Overwatch League scene. Neptuno is one of the older ones who's still very, very potent as a player. I mean, I would mention Jaehong as well, but we'll move on. Any other stories? Kind of go out to anything, maybe something a little bit more positive than the Vancouver Titans and Seoul Dynasty being poo?
Well, I think Boston has actually earned the right to not be the worst team in OWL anymore. That's kind of one of my takeaways from this weekend was the fact that Boston actually took Paris to a map 5, and Paris is
With Sparkle.
super strong with the debut of Sparkle. I mean, Paris is most people's top 5 as far as power rankings go, and Boston came out looking really good. Could Punk really have leveled up this team?
I mean,
Probably.
his Sigma play was absolutely filthy.
Yeah.
For Boston. I mean, he really shores up a lot of Fusion's shortcomings, as well as providing that extra shielding that is absolutely crucial for what Fusion tries to do with not only Orisa but also with the Reinhardt as well. I think that that's a massive boost into the off-tank role for Boston, and it absolutely levels them up and takes them out of the garbage cellar that they were in.
I couldn't agree
that's
more. It's a
great.
great take. Yeah.
I think any upgrade over Bryson was needed. I've no clue how that man managed to get into Overwatch League. But let's focus on two even more positive stories. Shanghai Dragons continue to perform. I don't know if you just saw them demolish the London Spitfire, but the one I want to draw attention to is LH Cloudy on the Gladiators returning this week, and we saw the type of like fader comp style Reinhardt. What is everyone's opinions on the LH Cloudy flanker solo shatter Reinhardt?
I mean, I'm a big OG. I'm a big OG fan. I don't. I still think OG is a better main tank. I realize his inconsistencies. It's to me one of the bigger stories of that matchup is how just dumpster fire Atlanta looked.
Needs to figure out what the hell is going on with their team. And like they played Erster, they played everyone they need. I don't think it's the DPS. It's not the DPS.
I'll give you a little hint. It's your tank line.
Yep. And it's exactly what we said at the beginning of the year when, the legendary Avast #2 ranking and Ocean and I did some power rankings at the beginning of the year. We're like, no. Everybody is way overhyping Atlanta. There's no way they're going to be #2 with this tank line. And sure enough, they're showing up about where I'm expecting now. Somewhere between 8th and 10th is about where I would place them right now.
Gator is a liability at main tank. Gator
I
is
still get how you got
I'm
Gator
looking-
on main tank starting when Pokpo is literally on your roster.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I have to say about Atlanta is I actually disagree with you on the 8 through 10 ranking. I think they don't even make the top 12. They have yet to beat a team.
You put them lower.
They have yet to beat a team. Yeah, they have yet to beat a team over 500 this season.
Yeah.
That's a hot take right there.
That's
Yeah.
not that.
I mean-
I actually agree with him now. Like,
Mhm.
if you're talking Atlanta, maybe like final season placing, maybe not top 12, but currently they're not a top 12 team.
Right.
They seriously need to get some switches in, bring the French
They
blood in
would
with
lose to Boston right now.
Yeah. Or you know what would have been really useful? You know the academy system and team you had before? Wait. Support tier 2 Overwatch, please, guys.
Support tier 2.
Like the thing is, they did basically sign everyone from that Atlanta Academy roster that was of age. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They did. Minus Funny Astro.
Right.
That still hurts.
The one that is, top 3 team with the Philadelphia Fusion. I think that one's gonna hurt you a bit hard. But anyways,
The point of the matter is,
overall-
just like, the sad thing is just like our support rotation, minus Fire because he actually hasn't played it all. Kodak, Dogman, and Masa are fine.
they're actually pretty good. They're pretty
Yeah.
consistent. Masa's a really good shot caller. Kodak, I think, is still insane.
Oh my
I didn't
god!
like Dogman, but
Every
he is okay.
time.
Yeah.
Every time they put Kodak in, he has popped off at
Yeah.
least once or twice a game. But the thing is, just like I look at the tank line and I'm just like, Hawk and Gator are just not doing it. And
No.
I love Gator. But I think Pokpo works better. Like, yes, Pokpo can get himself in trouble with his aggressiveness, but the aggressiveness worked.
I love
Yeah.
that Gator comes from Console Watch, but right now he is underperforming in a bad way.
But you also
Yeah.
have, if you allow the healers to do what they're doing, and if you allow them to play into the aggression that he's showing, maybe we'll get them out of this passivity that they're showing on every single map that is not indicative
Well-
and is not a hallmark of what Atlanta does.
Yeah.
I know.
Atlanta has always been
when
the
they
team
get-
that just kind of YOLOs it, like ever since because
Yes.
they had I mean, their coach is the Seffi, the former coach of Selfless. What did we know Selfless for? Fucking spawn camping.
Yeah.
And that's, I think Atlanta's style, you have to be fearless. You have to go into every match. I mean, just thinking you're the San Francisco Shock, essentially, and you're just going to barrel over your opponents, and they look to be second-guessing themselves right now.
For it. They
I
have
would
the
be
skill for it. They have proved it. This roster.
Get the mic out of your mouth.
No.
So
I mean, like, we couldn't understand you. You were distorting yourself so much.
They have proved that this roster has the skill to be that good. This exact roster.
Right. No, exactly.
All they
That's
did
why I
was
think
add to last season.
You're
I
the
think
worst
they're
Sigma in the league. I'm sorry. I'm going to cut in. Hawk is the worst Sigma in the league. Note's the second worst Sigma.
Ooh,
No,
I
but,
disagree
like,
with that
there you
completely.
go.
I disagree with that
Oh.
completely.
You're talking
Ocean,
You're
real
talking
quick.
about how they work
I
as a
disagree
team,
with that
or you're
completely.
talking individually.
Ocean,
no,
I'm not
the
talking
second
about
worst
just the
Sigma.
tank line. I'm talking about, you could literally just put in FR, you could put in Fried and Puckboat. There's your tank line from last season that beat the San Francisco
Yeah, I know.
Shock.
But I'm talking about Hawk, who is starting right now, and he's the worst Sigma in the league. Note is close to the bottom, and you could say whatever you want, but he does not understand Sigma. He does not understand the hero. You watch positioning to everyone else's. It's completely different. It's wrong.
I disagree with that. I think Note supports Gomsu very well.
I don't care
Well,
how well you support Gomsu as an individual.
Kamzu.
Gomsu.
But I would say that his style just doesn't fit your expectations of how you're supposed to play Sigma. That doesn't make it bad.
I don't think,
Okay,
I don't think Hawk is a bad.
What on double shields?
I don't think Hawk is a bad player. I just think he's being put in a position where, like, Atlanta Academy was hyper aggressive, and they're playing so passive right now. Like, Atlanta Academy was literally just like, "Hey, yo, Leroy Jenkins, let's go."
Yeah,
but
Like, you also had a roster of Gator. You had a roster of Gator, Hawk. You had 2 DPS that were very good. I can't remember the freaking names right now. And then you had Funny Astro and Karkar as your support line.
right, unfortunately, they treated the Academy team like it was, a disposable solo cup. Like, we got what we needed out of it. Now we're gonna throw you in the trash.
Mhm.
Yeah. But we'll move on. There was one more thing to come from this Overwatch League weekend, and that was the Sinatra skin. What does everyone think of the Sinatra skin?
I like it.
I really like it.
Yeah, I like it
I
as
liked
well.
it. If my
look at it.
Xbox starts working, I'll get it.
Boom! I actually have a graphic for it. There we go.
I
And
actually think it looks a little bit like Airborne.
I actually really like the skit, and I've seen complaints in a couple of different podcasts and talking about how they don't understand the connection, like it doesn't scream Sinatra, and there's a lot of stuff in there. I mean, the whole alien look was his idea.
Right over here.
Yeah.
I mean that was Sinatra's idea, and it's supposed to mimic. I mean, if you look, there are actually similarities in the way the faces are lined out and everything. And then the suit is a Frank Sinatra suit, like is a straight up 50s Sinatra suit. That was the whole idea behind it.
Sinatra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they rarely reference the crooner, and I mean, even with the hair of the alien being slipped back and kind of sort of a pompadour from the 50s.
Yeah.
It all ties in. That's people.
I think it's
are
brilliant.
just so quick. I think it's a brilliant.
I think it's
effing
brilliant.
skit.
People were so quick to hate on it, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Right.
I'm mad because my tokens aren't dropping for some reason. The site
here.
keeps bugging out on me and it won't drop my tokens. And I'm like, I'm so close
think
to
that
that triple
people-
digit mark to where I could just drop $5 and get the skin. But right now I'm like 110 tokens shy. And it's just like
People are hating the skin just because Sinatra is not in the Overwatch League anymore.
I don't think that's
Well,
true
it
at
is-
all.
He's still the
I think it
MVP
is.
of last year.
No, he's still the MVP of last year.
I think everyone's right. Imagine if you dropped a Monte Cristo skin into the game. You can make it how good if you want, but freaking Overwatch League fake fans who don't understand esports will be like, oh, look,
There's-
it's Overwatch.
There's
Soccer
some
X,
sentiment on
whatever."
that, but I think there's a lot of people out there who just think the skin is ugly.
Well,
I mean,
I think it's one of the best Zarya skins in the
silly.
game.
Right.
silly.
As soon as I get money, I'm buying it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy the tokens, and I'm gonna buy it. And
I'm gonna get
fucking
it
rock
as well. I love the details. Like you see it in action. I don't know if how much will show up on screen.
The
here.
hair apparently glows.
The hair and
it gets
and
brighter as you grow in energy, as you get the energy from the charge.
yes, and the antennae glow that pink as well.
There's also the energy nodes.
I love that's my favorite part. Yes. The
Yeah.
way her back glows here, we just kind of got the video playing on stream right now of kind of the release video.
It's also still one of those things where how unsurprised would you be if Sinatra actually came back to Overwatch?
Very.
When he realizes he can't play Valorant, so in about a month.
Well, he streamed. He did an Overwatch stream just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they debuted his skin. Like I think he kind of felt like he had to. I mean, come on, you get your own personal skin inside the game. I mean, it couldn't be more flattering. Like it's only happened to 2 people in the 4-year history of this game, him and Jonak.
I mean, at the joy on his face, though. I mean, this is. I mean,
no, it was pure.
If that's what is kind of a redeeming quality for what he did to Overwatch, and I still say what he did to Overwatch because the way he did it still leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I don't care if you want to go play another.
Because it got leaked, etc. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he got a little screwed over by how it got leaked.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
I don't buy that either. I don't buy that.
I
don't buy that.
Another thing about that.
I love the gun.
Jackass, right?
The gun is so much fun. It's chromed out and everything.
Off the roster until the end of the season. I'm telling you that right now, but it got leaked. So it looks a lot worse on him, and it should look worse on him because that is what he did.
That is awesome.
Well, and I think
sorry to interrupt.
I think we were talking. Yeah, no, the skin.
The way that it glows when you're charged up on Zarya is so freaking cool. And I think this is absolutely one of those skins that looks 10 times better in game, in action, with all of the animations and the light effects and everything going. It's one that I think is going to get judged harshly just from that front image that we've all seen. But in game, in action, oh my goodness, it just looks so good. That just looks so good. I love that. I love the energy particles on her back.
The only thing I have to say about Valorant itself is after its initial release, Valorant is barely getting 5K more viewers than Overwatch on Twitch.
Yeah, it is kind of like surprising. I do think once it kicks off in like a relatively competitive esports scene, it will rise.
Well, I mean, Riot is going to be backing a couple of tournaments coming up. So
we'll see then. But I think we're going to move on. We're going to go to something that hits a little bit closer to home. We're going to talk about the console watch scene because this week we have lost 2. Oh, I'm going to cry for fuck's sake. We lost fucking 2 orgs in the console watch scene. We lost the Unfair org and the Danny DeVito org. Can you let me move my camera away a second? But I mean.
Reaction.
We'll start with Billy and then we'll go to Airborne because
of course you're going to be first.
Yeah, I have to go to you first, Billy.
Billy was there longer, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I was part of Danny DeVito from March of 19 until they basically shut it down a couple days ago. Either being the Tier 1 captain or being on their Tier 2 team. And even after I left, I was still part of them. I mean, I went to Ryder's team. Leaving Danny DeVito. So I mean, they were a class act in a community full of assholes. They always did the right. No, call me out on it. I don't fucking care.
Danny DeVito I said the exact same thing.
Danny DeVito always did the right thing. They always try to do things for the community. I mean, the Danny DeVito Community Open, the 24-hour stream that they did. They got they got Scary Dragons and they got a couple of other big lights into it, and just they always tried to put out the best foot forward as an org, and always super supportive. If people wanted to go to another team, they understood. They just said, if you ever want to come home, come home. And I never really left the org. I'm still in there now. So
yeah,
people have accused me of having bias towards Danny DeVito as a caster. I do.
Yeah, I mean, same.
Sorry,
but we'll come back
in the middle of the cast, though. It's always professional. I gotta say, I won this from them.
Yes,
my Reinhardt.
Us.
It's my Reinhardt. I won that in the 24-hour stream, and then my keychain, my little
Yeah,
My
show us
little
the keychain.
Reinhardt.
It's really cool. It is like super cool. Look at that keychain. It is super cool. We'll go on to Airborne next, and we'll come back to the leadership and what made Danny DeVito so good afterwards, and then we'll move on to Infire. So you talk on Airborne about your experience with Danny DeVito in particular.
Well, my experience with Danny DeVito actually started against them when I was on Darkness Esports when I originally came into the console scene. It was, mid goats meta, and Danny DeVito refused to go goats.
They played that
Uh,
Mercy Lucio composition.
Not just the Mercy Lucio, also the Pharah, and we ended up losing to them in a 5-game series in the Tier 3 finals. Literally map 5. It was map 5 round 3, and
On
we
Ilios.
lost on Ilios, yeah.
I was
And we
casting that
lost
game.
that
We got
game.
very bad at the pause, which was very quick after the fight. But we'll go on. We'll not get into that.
Yeah, but the point of the matter is we barely lost, and they went on to win the Tier 3 finals. And that was my first experience with Danny DeVito, because immediately after I got a message from some of the guys on DeVito, like Venom Andrew, Burr, and stuff like that, saying good game. Not like BMing or anything of that sort. It was
Yeah, there
genuine.
thanks, guys. Although Venom Andrews' voice line spam does piss me off.
Dipstick.
Hey. Dipstick, dipstick, dipstick.
Dipstick.
Well,
You
it's good fun to
dipstick.
scrim. It's good fun to scrim. We'll
Oh,
move
no.
on to we'll move on to Knight Rider,
well-
and then we'll go to Bull Skunk and me after Airborne.
That
Oh,
was-
yeah, you keep
yeah.
going. I'm just saying.
Nah, yeah. And then a couple months later, I ended up making an organization with a couple of friends of mine, and I ended up leaving that organization for dubious reasons. And Burr basically just brought me into Danny DeVito and just said, hey, do what you need to do here. I have faith in you, and, I trust you. And I did, and they basically just opened their arms to me and Danny DeVito, and they were just like, hey, you're part of us now. That's it. You're a family now. You have no choice.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
That's how Danny DeVito works.
Yeah, that's how they work.
I'll
You're-
move on to you Bull Skunk, and then we'll move on to Knight Rider, and then I'll go on and kind of close this out, and then move us to Anfair. We'll have a conversation about the leadership of Danny DeVito about it, because I think that is very important. But we'll move on to Bull Skunk and then Knight Rider.
I like that you're giving us a nice outline. Set the stage a few minutes ahead. Look at you doing hosting things, doing hosting
Look at
things,
him
doing our
doing
best to keep
hosting
it
things.
keep it in the rails. But we're gonna derail you. Don't you
Our
worry.
usual host did this.
We're gonna derail you.
Oh,
Danny DeVito, I mean, holds a special place in my heart. And Billy was talking about, the accusations of caster bias, and that was never true in so much that we were rooting for one team to win or another, but it was true in the fact that we wanted to promote, one of the best orgs. Like I always felt that's how the orgs in the scene
like
should
what works.
behave. What's that?
that's how it should work. I mean,
Yeah.
orgs like Danny DeVito and Anfair are shining lights and great examples of what orgs in this stage should strive to be.
And
We're talking about Apollo's Reformation. We're talking about Ignition, Valor. Nobody else.
And this came up when we were talking about how to improve console watch as a whole. Is where I really felt inspired to try to reinforce the good orgs, and so all that you ever hear is the griping and the complaining about the bad orgs, and we don't hear enough about the great orgs and things they have done to really build the scene and to really make it something worthwhile. And Danny DeVito was absolutely one of those. And so that's where the bias came in that wanted to showcase that, wanted more of that in the scene. And I mean, furthermore, Danny gave me my first shot as a caster. I mean, my first full tournament, at least.
Same.
And I mean, and that was huge. And it was taking a chance on a complete unknown. Nobody in the scene knew who I was, and no one in the scene had any reason to know who I was. And they absolutely took a shot on me. And well, the rest is basically history at this point. It's been a year of just awesomeness. And
It's
I
the face of console.
oh, it's flattering.
It's true though.
And Danny DeVito's the one who started it all. And I mean, Burr absolutely started that. It was super encouraging, and illustrated how to treat their production talent for the tournament that they had hosted. It was phenomenal. I mean, it kind of spoiled me a bit. So that organization will always hold a place in my heart, and I'm gonna buy up one of their jerseys before they don't make them anymore.
Nice.
Yeah. So Knight Rider, your sort of experiences. I know you've never really been with the Danny DeVito organization, but just speak of your your experience from like an outsider point of view.
So I have a little bit of experience with them. When I first started casting, they were first coming onto the scene, and I was like, "Who the hell are these guys?" Like, I'm like every single time I was casting with Red, I'm seeing spam this Dorito for Danny DeVito, and I'm like, what in the world is going on right now? Like, these guys came out of nowhere, and I'm like, man, these guys are cocky as shit.
Indeed.
Like,
Awesome.
So I've never personal experience with the Burr or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure that he knows who I am. I know who he is. I don't want to, say like I'm like a Titan or anything like that, the console scene, but I think I'm well enough known that he knows who I am. And
I mean, you
everything.
are on like an imperial list of sandbaggers, so you are quite well known.
Oh, leave it.
Jesus.
Leave it.
The eye rolls.
God.
I'll never leave it alone.
I mean,
Oh.
it is what it is. We've gotten past
Knight
it.
Rider,
But
that's
yeah,
just
so-
We've definitely
Horror,
gotten
though.
past it. We just like to give you shit. Well, I don't. Ocean likes to give you shit. Let's be real.
Only Ocean
Yeah,
is
it's
99%
just
of the time.
Uh-oh.
On a real note, though, Danny DeVito is definitely one of the titans, or was one of the titans of the console scene. As you guys saw in that video, there's so many like orgs that we've lost over the past
Yeah.
year.
It's been nuts.
I mean, so one thing that I did see in that was, because I was on D9, was D9 was in that video, and I mean, I don't even know if they are around. I mean, I've been told that they still are, but I mean,
I haven't seen anything about D9. But anyways,
It's-
I'm gonna quickly bring in my beautiful experience with DeVito, and I've got two very different experiences. They're both positive. Don't worry, I'm not gonna shit talk you. Although
They're
I
not.
bet I'm Andrew. If I hear dipstick in my sleep one more time, I'm coming for you. I might give you a hug, but you also might get a glass of water poured over you because I'm not happy. Too many sleepless nights with that bloody Junkrat voice line. Anyway, so my first experience of Danny DeVito, we'll talk about Anthea later. Don't worry.
Dipstick.
Shut up. So my first experience with Danny DeVito was obviously when I had basic as my casting partner for CGL MTT 6, where we casted all the Danny DeVito games. Basic was a sponsored streamer for Danny DeVito, and we casted all of their games. There was a lot. There was the spam the Dorito for Danny DeVito. There was the spam this Hey for Ocean D.VA cosplay. I could actually never afford the D.VA cosplay, so what we ended up doing was we ended up putting a
Dipstick.
picture of my face on. A picture of my face on D.VA and just putting it as my gamer pick and everything else. So that's what we ended up doing as a compromise for the spam this Hey for Ocean D.VA cosplay. But it was lovely just to see the support going to the streamers. I just love the support that they give streamers. It's so important. And then my second experience with the video was competing against them in Tier 4. And we had some classic scrims where we were just memes, start teabagging each other, do some emotes, have a bit of fun. But we would always, be competitive with each other, make sure it was all taken seriously. And we did compete with each other right till the end. Of course, my team impact did kind of step up. Okay, my team pack did slip up near the end of the season, and we had a couple of things go wrong for us, as well. So, but Danny DeVito, class act, always fun to compete against. Definitely my favorite team to scrim. And also, I feel like there's someone behind me. Is that a Junkrat? Oh Jesus, my chair almost died. Oh God. But part of the reason.
I don't even know what this
You're gonna pull a sideshow and just fall out of your chair on mid podcast.
there's an arm. The arm extends out like this. I don't know if you can see it, but the arm extends out like this. So I've just done something weird with it. But the reason Danny DeVito was so great was the leadership and Burr in particular. But firstly, before we move on to talk about Burr, I hope you enjoy your life with your new son. You've done wonders for this site, and we hope you have a great life with your new child. Good luck with that. I think that's happening tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really? The due date's tomorrow?
I think the due date's tomorrow
For little Burr?
for Baby Burr.
Baby Burr?
Burr.
Yeah, Baby Burr.
We
I
all
was-
love the baby Burr.
I was denied the opportunity to buy an Overwatch mobile for Baby Burr because Mama Burr was not going to have it.
Aw.
I was told that by Burr himself. I was like, "What can I get for the baby? Something Overwatch related." He's like, "No."
So I wanted to say this.
Oh, Mama Burr not having any of it.
No.
Totally forgot that Bird does know who I am because CST was affiliated with Danny DeVito. So yeah, continue on. He was in our
Lipstick.
You got some random single eyebrow raises on that one. Billy and I can both raise one eyebrow. It's great.
I don't know, but have you ever seen Ocean Cast try to wink?
Oh my.
Please don't.
We tried.
Shit.
All right. Well,
But that's enough about Danny DeVito. Let's move on to the other console wars that we did.
before we move on, I think everybody should spam some Doritos in chat one last time.
Do you know what you've done? You spot on fire on Gun.
Oh, yeah, it happens.
But we'll talk about the Infag organization. Now, the Infag organization is not as well known as the Danny DeVito organization, but the competitive integrity and across multiple tiers and multiple regions that team had, the leadership and just the fun that team had is brilliant. Plus, the branding is really unique. I really do like the branding. They also brought some really sick content, like Player of the Week. They had like their own website where they did weekly reviews. Anthea, in my opinion, was the best console watch we've ever seen. And of course, we did lose them this week. Allium was another fun team to scrim. Always fun to buy exams Ali after he fades on Sombra. Yeah, I'm coming for you, mate.
Oh, I didn't. I switched the E and the I in there. Whoops.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So Anthea
You got 3 vowels on the end, all right?
Yeah. So anyone else got anything to talk about the Anthea organization and how they all were shining light to the rest of the scene?
No, I mean I don't have as much personal experience with that org, but definitely one that always, pure sportsmanship, pure class. Simple shit like showing up on time and treating people with respect. They always exemplified all of that every time. Didn't matter what division we saw them in, and back to their presence and their branding. I mean, just something that created such a strong impact. It's just such a strong presence on the scene. I mean, it was wonderful.
You never saw the internal drama play out on their Twitter. It was always positivity. It was always the teams supporting the teams within the org. I know that you and I both cast them quite a bit this year across the tiers, and they always thanked us.
Yeah.
Before I could get my my standard, and it was always genuine. Thanks for letting us cast your game. GG's. Hope to see you again soon. No, they got up there before us. I mean, they were sending me DMs, thanking us for taking time out of our busy stuff, and I really. That stuff doesn't happen very often, other than Burr would thank us, in the Danny DeVito server. But I mean,
and it was genuine. Yeah,
those two orgs would retweet us to get us exposure, and I growing the brand for Bullskunk has always been one of my number one priorities as a casting partner of his, one of his casting partners.
Appreciate.
And they retweet everything.
Right.
When it comes to their teams.
Real quick, my number one priority, being one of Bullskunk's many partners, is to tell him that he's smelly every now and then. So Bullskunk, you're smelly.
Hey, I showered right before the podcast. Thank you.
You need to shave your head.
I know I need to shave my head. I'm actually really looking forward to shaving my head.
I'm scared to see this.
I'm not excited, not gonna lie. But
it'll grow back so fast.
Yeah, I had some great talks with the Anfea owner.
Bullskunk shaved everything.
The Anfea owner, Fenidus, and the Danny DeVito owner, Burr. From all of us here who are heavily involved in the console watch scene, thank you very much to everyone at Anfea and Danny DeVito for all you've done for console watch. Please clip this, someone, because yous were magical. You set a shining light. Let's move forward.
Yep, come some console love in
Danny
chat.
DeVito. I personally love Danny DeVito, and Anthea I've never had a bad experience with.
Yeah, some console love in chat for Anthea.
They don't have a. They don't have a. That's one thing that Anthea didn't have. They don't have a bloody like what's that like emoji in chat. They don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, Danny got lucky with the Dorito, I suppose.
Yeah,
It was built in. You know, it's just a generic Twitch emote.
Yeah.
But no, that's fine. We'll throw some console love up there for Anthea. I think that's perfectly appropriate. Y'all will definitely be missed in the scene. It's not going to be the same without either of those two works.
Indeed.
Yeah, and let's move on. Let's go to the higher levels of the esports scene. Let's talk about ex-Overwatch League caster Monte Cristo, my idol, and talk about his new role with the Flashpoint League, where he is now the commissioner.
It's huge. It's huge. That is a big move for the league, for the Flashpoint League. I think that he is the perfect person to be doing what they're going to be having him do, being the link between the fans and the league. Basically being the face of it. I think that kudos to him, and kudos to him getting back to his roots. I just think it's brilliant from them, and I want to see the marketing that comes out of this. That's where the real litmus test for how good he does is what kind of social media presence is CS:GO going to go under because of this, because of his affiliation with Semler across the pond. Is there a way that they can branch this together and really make CS:GO have an even bigger comeback into the pro scene than it is right now? That is what I want to see, because CS:GO in Europe is huge. In America, it's not as big. It's not as big here. So is he going to be able to affect the change that has happened in Europe, how popular it is in Europe? Is he going to be able to bring that stateside? If he does that, if he's allowed to do what, that I assume that's what the route they're wanting to do, then it's going to be a big time game coming up, and it may even outshadow, Call of Duty. And if they play their cards right, if they do it the right way, and they get the funding, they get the backing behind it, it can make Valorant kind of a less play.
I'm gonna go back to Monte Cristo's involvement in Overwatch and his creative development and creative content with the fans. And I go back, and I always see on Twitter, Overwatch League, Stalker X, Monte Cristo hits. No, he loved Overwatch. I don't want to hear that shit. He left League of Legends to come to Overwatch. He was the best League of Legends caster. He was the best esports caster, and he left everything to come to Overwatch. He created that Watchpoint show that everyone loved in Season 1. He basically designed the new tournament format. That tournament format that you all like? Yeah, that's basically his idea.
Yeah, the revival here with the Melee. Yeah, that was Monte Cristo's idea 2 years ago.
That's on Monte Cristo as well. I was watching a video just before we came here, actually. It was the All-Star events.
The what?
Monte Cristo. The All-Star events. 2019 All-Star events.
Yeah.
Where Monte Cristo got dressed up by the fans. He's all for the fans. And
that's right.
Don't disrespect that man again.
That's
he
right.
is amazing. He is the face of esports. This is a great move for Flashpoint, and he could have saved Overwatch. Those people that are complaining about Overwatch League viewership, different deals that Overwatch League have with sponsorships. Don't complain about Monte Cristo.
And I think this is an area where he'll thrive, and he could put a lot of this expertise to good use. And with any luck, just like Billy was saying, it will absolutely take off, and Monty will get the recognition he deserves. I mean, I think Monty's awesome. And there was a little tweet of sidetracking a little bit, but there was a tweet about D.VA rejoining LOL, and rejoining LCS to cast for Riot. Kind of started by Monty, where Monty was kind of pushing him and hinting at it. And that I would love to see D.VA get back to his roots as well.
Indeed.
Right. But just imagine, right? Now, this is going to sound hella controversial. A lot of people might not understand. Overwatch League with co-commissioner D.VA and Monty.
I mean, I think Overwatch would be in a much better place if... Well, I mean, you could say the same thing about Nate not leaving either. I think would be in a much better place if Nate Nanzer had never left. Because he took...
The only thing I
was going to say he took Monty and D.VA's advice. Nate listened to them.
But also, incorporated it with the stage playoff format, etc., which was a great format as well. However, the format we had laid out for this season, I remember looking at it, at the start of the season and going, what balls is this tournament? But anyways, we talked
Oh.
Oh, he died.
stuff. Let's back that hits close
Whoa.
to
There
home.
he is.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh my
whoa.
Whoa! Who died? Who died?
You're
died?
good. You're good.
You did.
You died for a second, but then you resurrected in just a speedy fashion.
It was
Uh,
interesting.
oh.
to believe.
Ocean style. But let's go back to something a little bit closer to home. Get Good console has started this week. Rosters are announced. The tiers are announced in the NA Xbox division. We also have Xbox EU, which is everyone open division style. Now we have PS4 starting as well. Get Good is coming to console, and we also have Get Good PC still going. Who's excited for the show?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. What's not to be excited about? Like, this is awesome.
I mean, that guy is playing, and the guy over that way is also playing.
You got some players here in the crowd.
So
Some players.
Ryder is doing his comeback tour here, coming into Get Good NA on the Xbox side.
Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. What? No. We will not talk Rap God here. So, I mean, but but Knight Rider's getting his well-deserved return to the scene on a major stage. Nonetheless, I mean, he didn't know I was going to do this, but I'm actually curious to see what he's done in his time off, since we haven't been able to see him grow through the CGL season.
I heard
He's been charging off cliffs.
I heard he was actually taking up a new role to stop flooding in the US. He was just buying a bunch of sandbags and setting them everywhere.
If you ever have any roadsides blowing over, you know where to turn. Knight Rider holding them down.
The only thing I can say is he's been charging off a lot of cliffs, recreating the Munching Carrot 6K.
Oh, yep, you killed him. You killed him. You killed him.
And the worst part is he can't shit talk me because I own the team he's on.
Is he doing some? What is it? The Polar Bear Challenge? Is Knight Rider up there doing Polar Bear Challenge? Just prepping, just trying to prep for Volskaya.
Airborne, real quick. I'll flip you that $5 later for shit talking. I know.
Anyways, to answer your question, Billy, in the off season, I have actually been getting coached by like 10 different people.
Nice.
I have been getting coaching.
Still haven't talked to either of the two best coaches on console.
Oh, shut up for a second. Let the man talk. Damn.
I think we've
Don't make
roasted
me
him
pull
in
the dad card.
So, anyways, yeah, I've been getting a lot of coaching. I've switched from playing a lot of main tank to back to off tank.
Oh Jesus, it's gonna be worse than I thought.
That's where I originally started playing tank, was off tank. So I've been practicing a lot more on that.
Been playing,
reviews.
getting your Sigma up to par.
Yeah, my Sigma is actually not my weakest. My D.VA actually is.
I'm the same way. I'm a main tank player, but yeah, my D.Va. It's this.
But the thing
D.Va's
is,
a really
irrelevant.
difficult hero.
She's
I've been,
irrelevant right now, so I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. Your luck. She's not meta at all.
You won't
It can
see.
be used in like certain situations.
Here's a question: Airborne, are you playing? Are you playing?
I
or
can't play.
no?
I'm on staff.
yeah.
Well, but I mean, Big Hungry Phil gets to play on PS4.
But he's not on console staff.
I'm on console staff.
Yeah. He's on PC staff, so he can't compete in PC. Which I went looking for BHP's team. I didn't see him in any of the rosters. I was hoping we'd get to cast or at least cover Big Hungry Phil. That would be
That would
fun.
have been a fun one for me.
That
too.
would be
Yeah.
fun.
It would be so much fun.
It'd be worse than watching Knight Rider play.
I was
So-
actually very honored that he reached out and I got to cover for BHP. He actually reached out to me personally to ask me to cover for him, and said that he wouldn't have done that if he wasn't 100% confident that I would go in and crush it. So big encouragement and kind words coming from BHP. So if you ever see this podcast, thank you so much, my friend. That was huge. That was very uplifting.
He was my first VOD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
BHP
Yes,
is
I
awesome.
remember you asking for that.
Airborne! Thank you for the gifted sub, dude.
My favorite thing about Billy when he was reaching out, he forgot to untag me in the tweet. So all the notifications of the conversation just keep going. I was happy to say it, but Usually when I look at my
British.
phone for a notification, it's usually I'm expecting a message from someone I actually want to talk to. I'm sorry, Billy.
Funny,
But
I see
yeah.
the same thing and I sleep. Put the snooze back on when I get your tweets. Shut up. So my big question for Ryder then is, other than the CGL teams that we know are going in there, what are you expecting to see, like as far as the talent coming in from leagues outside of CGL that we don't have any idea about? That's the thing I've been trying to say to a lot of people is it's not just CGL.
Yeah.
This is the entire Xbox scene.
It's the entire
And we're gonna
console
see
scene.
people. We are going to see people from PS4 and Xbox that we have no effing clue who they are, and I think that's the beauty of Get Good because of the reach that they have.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
This is going to be huge. I want to get your thoughts.
There's a few new teams. UDG, which I'm a part of, is a brand new org that Airborne owns. The top 3 tiers of that are participating. And also on top of that, Solo has never had an NA tier 3 team before, and they have a brand new team, and they're looking pretty good. I was
The only thing
actually,
I can say about UDG is I regret letting the captains name their own teams, because I have UDG Valhalla, Vendetta, and Vanguard.
Do you
my
really?
life. Yes.
They
Yeah,
all
do you know
trolled
what
you to come up with
thing
V names?
Do you know what the worst thing about this is, right? They changed their name after they originally signed up, so that means I have to go into their little box and just type out change name to UDG, and then they all got really dumb spellings like Vanguard. What is a Vanguard?
It-
Someone that stand outside the van is guarding it, like, yes, you cannot come inside. The van.
a Vanguard is like a. Go ahead.
of soldiers actually in a protective circle.
Correct. Actually, is it a? I thought a Vanguard formation was a triangle. Was like the point.
That's a wedge.
Yeah.
Is that just a straight a wedge? Vanguard is a circle.
Yeah, Vanguard's a circle.
There you go.
I don't know. I know that.
I knew it was like a soldier formation, like with
Yeah.
like Roman soldiers, like with swords
Yes.
and spears.
I wonder if the Vanguard formation can be used by the Vanguard team in Overwatch.
We'll see if they can
Oh.
make a circle.
Ask Knight Rider, because he's on Vanguard.
Oh yeah.
Knight
No,
Rider, Knight Rider. So Knight Rider. So you're going to be positioned off the cliff because you're going to have fed and got pooped off the map. And then there'll also be a circle on the high ground on both sides. And then, yeah.
Doing his polar bear ice challenge. I wish I had thought of that in the moment. That would have been a great thing to throw on the cast. I was just too excited.
If you said that in the moment, Munching Cat sending them to do the polar bear challenge.
Yes, that's what I should
Okay,
have said.
yeah.
I'm saving that for Volskaya. Y'all don't steal that. I am so saving that for Volskaya. One day I'll get to
Yeah.
use that analogy.
Yeah, so we're actually going to
So
quickly
happy,
move
we're gonna
on.
hear the joy in his voice when he actually gets to use it.
Yeah, so we're going to quickly move on to a question quickly because I know Billy has to go. So, no, before you go, you're getting the question. The
I
funniest
gotta go.
offer you've
I
ever
gotta hurry
received.
up. Funniest
hurry up,
offer I've
funniest-
ever received.
Yeah.
Like in what context? Because that could
Any
go many
context
different.
you want. Any context you want.
Team offer,
I-
staff offer.
I was offered in Pensacola Beach when I was in the Navy many moons ago. I was offered $50 to drink a shot off of a really fat bitch's ass.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
I got $50.
Hey! And a shot out of the deal.
Got a free shot and a free $50.
Literally.
All right, Billy.
Bye.
Yeah, so we'll pass it on the question. What is the weirdest offer you have ever received, Mr. Knight Rider?
Oh, that's easy. I had this guy come up to me, and he asked if he could
Ocean.
host my. And oh god, it was just like super weird.
He asked what?
If he could host the podcast, and I was just like, I don't know. I really regret letting him do it.
All right, that's quite
I like how we're
rude.
just using this to take shots at each other.
Yeah.
Well, Billy used an opportunity to drink the shot for $50. So
Stop with the poofing jokes.
yeah, okay. Anyways,
The
we'll
booping
move
also
on.
never stop. It happened on stream, and it's like the top highlight on Bullskunk's channel.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's move on quickly. Airborne,
I don't
what was
know.
the
That
weirdest
C9 is
offer?
quickly
That
is
C9 is
that
insane.
C9 is quickly overtaking it.
Yeah.
So, Airborne,
No.
your weirdest or funniest offer you've ever received.
So I'm gonna try and keep it in the context of console. So before I made a team called Memento Mori, me and a friend of mine actually got offered a deal for no money to join a team, but the only way we were able to join the team is we had to sign a contract, a actual
Yes, I
legal
know this
binding
org.
con.
Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
you know
I
the
remember
org.
this. Yes, I know. What were they called? Uprising Gaming or something?
No, 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 no,
Something
no,
like
no,
that.
no. No, Uprising Gaming is what we eventually joined. It was an org called OFA.
Yes, they had like a legally binding contract that you had to sign.
Wait, like
if
the
you were
OFA
going
that's
to
still
sign.
around?
I don't know if it's the same thing or maybe they
I don't think
changed, but
it's the
back
same
then
thing.
there was a couple of people that they just tried to get me to sign a contract. I said, "What?"
Oh, it was quite funny. I do remember this. I know what you're talking about.
Genuinely just went like, "Excuse me, sir, no."
Yeah, both good. Now, what is the weirdest / funniest offer that you have?
I don't know that I've ever had a weird / funny offer, honestly. Like,
I'll give you one now.
nothing
real
comes to
quick.
mind. Like, genuinely, I have not had anything that strange. It's all been pretty straightforward as far as job opportunities, casting opportunities. It's all been pretty straightforward.
Well, there was one, but I don't want to.
I've got one quickly. So I've got one real quick. So I'm giving you an offer, for $50 an hour. Like that's a lot of pay. But what you have to do is you have to help Knight Rider fill up his sandbags with losing SR in Overwatch.
Oh, I've got plenty of that then. I mean, if that's all it takes. I've got the losing SR.
Nice.
I have okay. So, for CST wise, the weirdest thing we were ever offered for CST.
What's the CC contract?
No, there was there was a
Never gonna let
contract.
that go, Ocean.
A org offered us. They wanted us to cast only on their.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And
We will not name names, Ocean, before you say anything. We will
they
not name names.
Sorry, I'm not saying names.
brand new org, brand new tournament, had no nothing to their name, nothing, and they only wanted us to stream on their channels, and we said no, and they said, "Okay, well, see ya, your loss." And then eventually they came back and were like, "Hey, we did things the wrong way."
I don't even think they had the
No.
channel made at that point. It was like they didn't even have the channel.
They didn't even have a Twitter made.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. So
All right. So
My
what's
one is
your
actually-
funny one, Ocean? What inspired this whole topic? This has got to be good.
So this happened last week, and I got a casting offer last week. They want me to cast a tournament for them, and I got this text message. I will read it out for you right now. This is brilliant. This is hilarious. Here.
Are you
I
gonna
need
name
to read
names?
it. No. Good evening. I got a question for you. I saw you gifted 5 subs in Aston's stream yesterday, and noticed you were a simp. I respect that. Currently, I am finding a caster for a tournament for Team Nubology. We are recruiting Overwatch players for our team and doing this throughout a tournament. Would you be interested in casting this tournament? I got offered a casting gig by simping on Aspen.
Yeah.
That's not weird. That's not a weird offer though. That's just a weird way of.
That's a weird situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an offer. It is an offer. It's a casting offer.
No, but it's a funny situation.
It's very
Yeah, it's a
odd.
funny-
It's not like somebody's offering you like raccoons to cast or something out of the blue. You know, like I'll give you 5 possums.
Big, and I really enjoy it. Do you want to come cast for me? That's kind of the equivalent there.
I should have messaged back. I should have said, if you can get Aspen as my co-caster, I'll do it.
There you go. There you go.
Caster, he does it for free.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll move on to the last thing that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Gladiators new signing, and then we'll preview Overwatch League's fixtures this weekend. I know we have gone on quite late tonight. That's because I don't have any timekeeping ability. But we will move on to the double hit scan.
Well, we're doing okay.
Prodigy.
We're doing okay. We don't need to linger on these last two subjects, but we're doing okay on time.
Yeah, so we'll go and talk about the Gladiators new signing. You talk about them.
Kefster, coming from Team Doge, hit scan player. I mean,
Doge stomp.
fantastic Widowmaker, and I think really filling a void for the Glads. I mean, they're gonna really enable the double hit scan composition. I think there's actually really nice overlap as far as hero pools and how he fits in with Mirror and Birdring. I mean, Mirror has been kind of meh. Birdring's been popping off, no doubt there. And I think Kefster's a phenomenal pickup. I think he's going to thrive on the Glads. I mean, I love Team Doge because I love Team Envy. And I'm sorry to see him go because now Doge has 5 members and they're probably going to get more picked apart before this signing date. Which, side note, I think it's important to mention with these patch notes that the Overwatch League signing date got extended to the end of July due to all these scenarios. It was supposed to be over already. But that trade date got extended to July 31st, and that's going to enable some of these late pickups like we're seeing with Kefster. I think this is a brilliant move. The Glads have looked a little stagnant, and I mean, despite the fact that they beat Atlanta over this past weekend, I think this is just going to propel them upwards.
Yeah, I feel like this will help them with their when in these like weird double hit scan metas where you're running Ash Tracer, Widow Tracer, especially on maps like Junkertown. This will definitely help them because Widowmaker is gonna be either played by Birdring or Kevster, and the Tracer can be played by both as well. So it really doesn't matter to me. You've got 2 very good hit scan players for double hit scan meta. That's all you really need.
That's a good pickup, and it's good for tier 2. The whole second win thing seemed a little bit of a debacle coming from Vancouver, and I kind of feel bad for those guys. It's nice to see a solid tier 2 pickup that could illustrate the strengths of Path to Pro. And I mean, it's only good for that scene. It's only good for the tier 2 scene, which needs to thrive if OWL is going to continue to grow.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is once everyone gets back, I don't know where he's gone. He's probably been taken away by the Shadow Realm. Yeah.
He's in the Upside Down.
So we're gonna go and we're gonna preview this week's Overwatch League matches. We're all gonna each pick a match week that we're excited for, and then we're gonna quickly do some predictions, and then we'll get a little outro done for the stream.
Let me get week 20 pulled up. I can't believe we're already in week 20. Like
crazy,
this would be the final game. No, it'd be the next to final game of stage 3 if we were still doing stages. We're almost into what would be stage 4. We're almost into the back quarter of the season. It's flown by, man.
Yes.
I'm already like missing. I'm already like thinking about how I'm gonna be missing it. It's kind of weird. All right, so back to OverwatchLeague.com here. Let me get our links fixed at the top for those of you following along at home. I like to try to put the links up there. I think it's helpful. I don't know why.
I think it is.
You know what else is helpful?
What?
Not having Knight Rider be the host.
I don't think that's true at all.
10 out of 10 Knight Riders firmly disagree.
sorry, I can't hear that over all the salt in your voice, Knight Rider.
Can't hear all the salt in you, Ocean.
Boom.
Okay.
That's a dad joke for you.
That's a dad joke for you.
I have got a dad joke actually, real quick, while we try and buy some time for everyone to get that. Yeah, here's the dad joke. So when is a car not a car?
When it's a jar.
No. What's going?
No clue.
When it turns into a corner.
When it turns into a corner? Ah.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. One submitted and one redeemed simultaneously. I'm leaving the count at 6.
That's why I did it.
Yeah. I'm leaving the count at 6. Very nice. Very nice.
Right, so Knight Rider, I assume that you've got the Overwatch League schedule up, and you're going to be able to pick your match of the week that you're excited for, even though you don't watch Overwatch League.
I tried to, man. I really do. I am a weekend warrior, and that's like my time to just get as much stuff done as possible around the house. So I barely even have time to do my own things.
Oh, dude. I had not this past weekend, but the weekend before, I had 10 matches between casting, observing, producing. I had 10 matches to do over the weekend. Like, I was not able to catch nearly as much Overwatch over the past 2 weekends as I would have liked, gotta admit.
Although we did have a funny moment while I saw Bullskunk in the Overwatch League YouTube chat. I was like, bird ring's popping off, and I go at Bullskunk. You watch along?
Yeah, we had a little watch party. That was fun.
That was good.
Okay, so actually, you know what excites me is it's not a fancy match. It's not at all. But Dallas Fuel versus Vancouver Titans.
We need a good win. Dallas needs a win.
I think that's very interesting because Dallas isn't like Dallas is good, but they're not like top tier. So this
They
is
actually
where, like,
are right now. I mean,
So this is
top
where-
When
8.
was the last time they won a game?
I mean, it was Melee. So
Yeah.
So we
no,
got
but,
beat
like,
by
the
Florida,
regular
who's like
season-
ranked number 2 right now. Like,
What's-
big deal.
What is the Dallas Fuels record right now? What is the Dallas Fuels record?
I know it's not as good as it should be,
Like,
but
I mean,
they've looked really strong.
their
So I mean,
individuals-
so you lost 3-2. I mean, okay, so the last 2 teams they've lost to are the Shock and the Florida Mayhem. Like,
yeah.
so there's no shame in that. There's no shame in losing to
Okay,
a top
fine.
3 teams. There's no shame in
Okay.
that.
I
I'm
mean, but
excited.
eventually to beat the top tier teams, when you made signings like Decay, Doha, and Gomsu, you are expecting to close the gap.
I think they've absolutely closed the gap. From where they were
Closing
in
the gap.
season 1 and 2 to where they are now? Like, are you kidding me? This team looks so much better. And I like the paintbrush pickup. They got
But if Vancouver Titans are to win a game, I feel like they could pull an upset over the Fuel. I
not a
definitely think the
chance.
Fuel- but I mean, I think that this could be like where they like finally like the new Titans finally gain their stride.
No, I mean, they just got dumpstered by Toronto, and I think Boston is looking better than Toronto right now. I would put Toronto at 18. I would put Vancouver at 19.
Yeah,
Justice at 20.
Justice at 20. Yeah.
I mean,
I feel so shit about the Justice. Like, Jono is the top tier off tank. Arc is the top tier main support. I won't talk about the rest of their roster.
Yeah, that's about it. No, I mean, that's Justice are looking like the worst
Arc
team in the league right now, for sure.
I legitimately think the Arc is the top 5 main support in the league.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
it's,
top 10.
you just gotta have something good to support. Like, you can have all the healing in the world. If you can't get anything done, it doesn't matter.
Like, I mean, when Mercy was the most important pick in Overwatch, back in Overwatch League,
Should have picked
season one.
Mercy.
when they were back in Overwatch League Season 1, Arc was the best main support in the league.
Well, yeah, but you're also talking about Mass Res and Super Mercy.
Not just with the old Valkyrie, but that was only Stage 1.
I know.
Remember,
I know.
they tried to move on to St. Yasa Lucio comps. Then we had the triple tank with one support competition with the Mercy as well. And Arc was again potent on that Mercy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in Dive was very rampant in Stage 1 as well.
Yeah. And if I don't know if you remember in Stage 3 and Stage 2, it was the Tracer Widowmaker meta, where you
Yes.
have to keep your Mercy alive.
Tracer Maker.
It was
And
so
it's always-
good. That was such a fun meta to watch.
It's the best meta.
That was one of the best metas for sure. I don't know about the best, but it was definitely one of. It was so fun to watch.
The best. Gomsu Winston in Stage 2 and Stage 3. Whew. Could watch that for a couple weeks straight.
I know. I want to see some OG Gamsu Winston.
Yeah. OG Gomsu Winston was brilliant. But anyways, now that Airborne has returned, Airborne, gonna put you on the spot. Your favorite Overwatch League game for the... Actually, I know I want to go next in case you steal mine. Sorry. I'll take it off of you, even though I just give it to you. The London Spitfire take on the Chengdu Hunters this week in arguably the, battle for the worst team, maybe Seoul.
Yeah, Soul just, like, I don't know, man. I don't even know
Seoul
what to
are
think of
weird.
Seoul.
But no, it's my turn, right? Because I've stole your turn again. London Spitfire versus Chengdu Hunters. Chengdu Hunters, can they cut their inconsistency, play a lineup like they did in their last match against the Seoul Dynasty, and they won 3-0. I'm talking about the regular season match. Main melee is a bit different in terms of conditions. London Spitfire have looked pretty poo recently, but have shown glimpses of their superstar talent, and of course Krillin, Glister, and of course Bernard. So let's see if they can get back on their feet with a game against the Chengdu Hunters. So that's my game.
It'd be an interesting matchup. I think my personal matchup of the week is going to be Shock versus Paris.
I like that as well.
I think that's going to be my match of the week personally. Looking to see if Paris can come in, and I think this would be an upset. I mean, you're looking at 2 top 5 teams here, in my opinion, and I'm excited to see more Sparkle.
Yeah, everyone's excited to see a little bit of Sparkle now. Is everyone gone again?
Is Marvel a liability?
No, I'm
There's
still
a
here.
good question.
No. Marvel is a fantastic Sigma player, and his D.Va isn't great, but I don't think that's your problem. Your problem is the MVP from Season 1's finals. Your problem is Prophet. He can't play Echo. His Tracer, Prophet's signature hero, Tracer. His Tracer last week was dumpster.
Prophet looked awful over the weekend, and he's one of my favorite players from the history of the league. And he has looked just absolutely boomed. Like he looks done.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the W word, but he has looked like poo. I'm not gonna call Prophet washed, but
no.
But
Gesture got outshone by Mono completely.
There's no shame in that. Mono is arguably the best main tank in the league. So
yeah, but when you are trying to make that stride towards being a top tier team, you can't get outdone that hard in your role.
Agreed, and you don't expect it from Gesture. I mean, you expect better things. I don't expect him to alpha that matchup, but you expect him to put up more of a fight than they did.
Yeah, it was woeful, and Prophet is other than the main melee, he's been really really bad.
And
Funny enough, the other part of that London Spitfire championship team, Birdring, has looked amazing.
Yeah, that's actually really odd.
It is.
That's super odd.
Like Birdring has just continued to grow and get better, and is absolutely popping off this year. One of the big reasons Glads are doing as well as they are.
I mean, I actually kind of feel like this is a development of having Wizard Chong as head coach and having D.VA as head coach. Like, call me crazy, Wizard Chong was pretty okay in Season 1, but struggled with motivating his New York Excelsior roster with this, controlled passive style. You're putting Prophet in a team that plays a controlled passive style.
Muma goes to coaching. That would be an interesting move. I could see that. I think Muma would make a great coach. I think he's an underrated player. He's easy to meme on and make fun of, but all in all, he's a very, very smart player.
He's got a good personality. It's too bad that he can't play anything other than Winston.
Yeah, his run has gotten dumpstered on this year, like in a bad way. Where you look at the shadows and you're just like, ew, like what? Why did you press Q? What was that?
I feel like he looks bad on Orisa as well. Don't ask. He looks bad on
every now and then he would hit a good, decent shatter, and I'd be like, "Where's this?"
Yeah,
all the fucking time.
So
Knight Rider not holding up his end of the bet.
I haven't had the money yet. Jeez.
Okay, before we get into petty fanatics and stuff like that, Airborne, pick your game of the week.
My personal game of the week, because Bullskunk stole my game of the week. My game of the week is the Atlanta Reign versus the Toronto Defiant to see, is the Atlanta Reign truly a bottom 5 team in the league? No, I'm well aware of all the other games.
Yes.
No, I think that's solid. I think that's solid. We need to see how boomed Atlanta really is. And I think this is also a good test on what you were talking about before, on the point you brought up earlier. Yeah.
Like, it just comes down to, like, you're going up against genuinely, they beat Vancouver pretty badly, but Vancouver's regarded as one of the worst teams in the league.
I would put them
at
at 19. Yeah, I would put Vancouver at 19 right now.
So, is Toronto a team that you kind of throw like, hey, let's just try something new? Because this obviously has not been working.
Here, try this. Start Popo. He finished third in Korean contenders and was
Well,
world
you don't have
class.
to adjust your voice. That just makes you difficult to understand.
Well, I just look at Toronto and I'm just like, I like Seffi as a coach, but is it a coaching change at this point? Because Atlanta has looked disorganized. They've looked like anytime they can't adjust on the fly. If their strategy gets broken, that's it. They're screwed.
I think it's a really good assessment, actually.
If their first option doesn't work, they can't improvise. They can't do anything past that.
Which surprises me because they've got a shot caller who is very, very strong, and that's Masa.
Yeah, Masa is very strong.
Well, here's the thing. Masa has been out of the lineup. They've been running a lot of Kodak Dogman.
And Kodak is a very, very talented player, but you're then relying on someone like Dogman to be a leader, and I don't know why.
Dogman, I feel, is the energy of the team. Masa is the comms.
I didn't watch their game against the Glads all the way through. I saw some of it.
You saw the bird ring. You saw the bird ring widow flank on Junkertown.
Yes, I do believe so. I think that was the match that I was in chat. That's the match that me and Ocean ended up hooking up on. But I didn't see the entire match. I believe
it was awful. Atlanta. It looked like Atlanta was going to bring it back as they performed well in the second map, but after that, the entire thing, the wheels just fell off the wagon.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like, as I said, if their first plan does not work, they look like they're playing competitive. They look like they're playing calm. They're just all trying to do their own thing.
Alex played. He was playing calm, right?
Yeah. Well,
Flankheart, no. But the point of the matter is, like, they don't like. I bet you put LH Cloudy up against a team like Shanghai. The moment they noticed that LH Cloudy was not there, they would have either looked for him and killed him, or just pushed in and killed his team.
Right.
I mean,
either isolate the flanking Reinhardt or push the rest of the front line that are missing their Reinhardt. I mean,
you put them up against the top.
You're talking about Shanghai. So Flat is 6K, Fearless 6K, or Lee Jigon 6K.
But the point also, like, not even just Shanghai. You put them up against NYXL, Philadelphia,
Charge.
even the Fuel.
Yeah.
You put them up against the Fuel. You put the LA Gladiators right now up against the Fuel. Bird Ring or Decay. Who are you taking?
That would be a great match, actually. And that's all the power rankings I'm seeing right now have them like neck and neck.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically, like Fuel and Glads are sharing 7th and 8th.
I know you're talking about the DPS duel when you play those teams, but I'm talking about the support duel where the Gladiators
the Big Goose and Shaz versus.
They outclass the Fuel and support. You can disagree with me if you want, but Big Goose and Shaz.
No,
Crimzo's
a beast. Crimzo's a beast, but Closer is very
I saw Crimzo on Zenyatta, and I was just like, ooh, Crimzo Zenyatta proceeds to get a 3K.
Yeah, Crimzo is a beast. That's I love that.
I think me and Ocean were talking about it a couple weeks ago. Closer is actually the weak part of that support line.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
No, and that's why Paintbrush was brought in. Like Paintbrush will play alongside Crimzo.
Again, but this is how I talk about the Fuel. When you're looking at the players individually, they all look quite good, and you'll talk about Noah. He looks individually quite good on the Sigma. He supports Gonzu's style. But if you, as I was saying, I will keep making this point. You can keep disagreeing with me. Watch him play Sigma, and then watch any other Overwatch League Sigma apart from Hawk play Sigma because the Hawk's trash.
Me and Ocean were randomly talking about if the Fuel
I've been watching Note destroy on Sigma. I don't know what games you're watching. But you've got some kind of lenses that are just like, I fucking hate Note lenses. And you just look through it with this. You're just going to be so critical and not see anything positive and only see what you want to see on that.
Watch Note, and then watch any other Overwatch League Sigma.
Well, who are you comparing? Are you comparing him to Choyobin, who's easily the best Sigma in the league? Like, is that what you're comparing his gameplay to?
No,
because Choi is the best.
Compare him to Space, who is the other off-tank on the team we're comparing him to, which is the Los Angeles Gladiators. Watch Space and Sigma positioning and watch Note. And then watch Choyobin positioning.
I understand. I hear what you're saying.
Me and Ocean were talking about a funny little, just fun stuff. Me and Ocean were literally just in a voice chat together one day, and we just said, how can the Dallas Fuel improve their team? Get Kareev and Nevix off the Toronto Defiant.
Yeah, that was my idea. Get Creve, because Creve can play both main support and flex support. He's a bit like Luffy. I don't know if you saw Luffy play main support this week for the Shanghai Dragons instead of Lee Jae-gon. He actually played the Mercy and pocketed Fleta a lot. So that was definitely interesting to see.
Hey man, when you pocket Fleta, you usually get results.
I mean, Falletta is, looking like MVP of the league right now.
Oh my
I
god.
he kind of shit on the Soul Dynasty last week.
I mean, he really does.
Fleta-
He looks like MVP right now.
Also, I think that was just a little. I think just every time Fleta goes up against the Soul Dynasty, he's kind of just like,
What?
I'm
Okay,
gonna show you guys.
let's not forget that Seoul went up 3-0. If that had not been a best of 7, that would have been a Seoul clean 3-0 sweep against Shanghai.
Yeah, you're forgetting that Soul Dynasty have the mental fortitude of a piece of pie.
No, I mean, I don't even know what relevance that has to what I'm saying.
No,
But
as soon as
play
a knife comes
so-
into the pie, it just crumbles completely.
But it's not
you
even.
just
that.
gotta put it in the
Seoul is
fridge.
a good team. They have a good roster. They have good players. Why can't they fucking close out a game?
yeah, and that's why I'm feel the need to reiterate. If they hadn't been playing a best of 7, they would have 3-0'd the Shanghai Dragons.
But they're not a better team than the Shanghai Dragons.
No, they're not. But I'm
That's the
just
great thing
I'm
about
just
Overwatch.
speaking to not just the inconsistencies, but also to the positives coming out of Seoul Dynasty.
There's so many
Granted, they
examples.
got just smashed over the weekend. Like it wasn't even close.
It was Shanghai just picking up where they left off in the May Melee.
I mean, maybe you don't remember the first time Shanghai played Seoul. It was the fastest Overwatch series I think we've seen.
Ever. No.
I'm pretty sure, is it not?
Second
It's,
fastest.
it's
No, it was the
Second
second
fastest.
fastest. Yeah.
Because the
second fast-
fastest was the Boston Uprising
Oh,
getting
yeah.
smashed.
Yeah, the 23-minute
Yeah.
game.
Was it
yeah.
Florida?
I think it was
Florida.
Florida. Yeah, Florida
Yeah.
killed them in 23 minutes of total game time between 3 maps. Between 3 maps. I've had single assault rounds last twice that long. Literally.
Florida just walks in and says, "All right, you're gonna take it and you're gonna like it."
Wait. Oh,
Yeah, but
shoot.
anyway.
Sorry, I lost our schedule here.
So, to our predictions for this week. We're going to go from Airborne to Knight Rider to Bullskunk to me. We'll go for our predictions for the rest of the week, and then we'll end off.
Okay.
Oh,
So
there's a lot of games to get through.
Oh, there is a lot. Let's start off with the Soul Dynasty.
Or we could do it my way, how we usually do it.
What's
You just say a game. Everyone just says a team. No explanation. Just say a team.
Well, do I always give an explanation? Because it
We're
saves
at
you.
hour 20 just about.
Yeah,
so
well, anyway, we'll quick it
game
up.
one-
I'll give an
Just start with
explanation.
game one. Just start
Right,
with game
Soul
one.
Dynasty taking on the Guangzhou Charge.
Guangzhou.
Guangzhou for sure.
Knight Rider.
Charge.
Oh,
Okay,
there's
so
Billy.
I'm also going for the Guangzhou
Oh my lord, he's
Charge
still here.
Hey, Billy's back.
because
Billy
they
has
have-
returned just in
Oh,
time
wait,
for the
okay.
owl predictions.
I've been
Oh, I'm-
watching.
I've
very,
been
very
noticed. I've been noticing. I've been
Billy,
noticed.
So I'm
Priority
going for Guangzhou Charge of the Soul Dynasty because I mean the Soul Dynasty.
It's
was
Soul.
early last week.
Dude, it's
Um,
flip a coin and see what soul we get.
Hey Billy, Soul Dynasty or Guangzhou Charge?
Guangzhou easily.
Yeah.
Okay, 5
So
of us.
5 of us all choose the Charge.
Right,
Jesus.
let's move on to our next game, which is the London
This one's
Spitfire
more
taking on
interesting.
Chengdu Hunters, which is my game of the week.
This is much more interesting.
I'm gonna go-
Airborne.
I like that, Billy. I was actually gonna go with London, the London Spitfire.
I'm going
Found it, eat
I'm
some
going
for
with
dinner.
London.
Let's go London.
I'm going
Knight Rider.
London in 3-2. I think it's gonna be a 5-map series.
I think it's gonna be a 5-map series too.
Agreed with that.
Who you going with,
Just
Knight
all
Rider?
say London?
Hunters. Yeah.
No, he said
Yeah.
Oh, he
Hunters.
went for the Hunters.
So we
Well, I'm
got
going for the
3.
Hunters as well, and I
So we
feel
got
that
3
the
Hunters and
Knight
2
Riders have-
Spitfire.
And it's
Alright.
perfectly divided on. Okay, this is great because it's the 3 of us on the left hand side of your screen versus the 2 of them on the right hand side of the screen, and the London Spitfire on the left hand side of our match here. Anyway, my OCD is happy. I'm just saying.
Okay, then we got the we have the Spark versus the NYXL. Ocean.
I go first. I always flipped it around.
He
Oh,
did.
I
He
like
flipped the
this.
script.
New York Excelsior despite Architects. All right.
Architect hasn't
Volsky?
played yet.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
not.
no, but he's arrived, so he's probably gonna play.
Yeah, he'll probably play this week. But yeah, I'm still giving it to Nixel. Nixel are coming back looking like one of the strongest teams in the league again. And I agree, Spark are underrated, I think. And Architect is going to be a huge addition to them. BQB is phenomenal. That dude can play the game.
You know, give me Godsby.
Godspeed, yeah.
God, I'm about to say
Godspeed.
BQE.
plays
You would
for
be-
Florida.
You can probably
BQB can play the game
from
too. But
Florida's
that's I meant
cold-
Godspeed.
You can probably BQB from Florida's cold dead hands.
But anyway,
Knight Rider,
I misspoke, but I'm gonna give it to Nixel.
What?
Knight Rider, Nixel or Spark.
I'm
Shall
gonna
we make another bet? No.
My chair is broken.
What was that?
Again.
Your mic kind of went robotic there.
NYXL.
Nixel,
All right. Billy.
Billy.
Spark.
Ooh.
I think that they come in and just smack the shit out of NYXL. I think
don't think-
Architect immediately provides the fragability. He provides the hit scan should it be needed. He provides just the scariness of Architect coming onto the field of battle. Because I mean, look what Architect did last season.
Yeah.
Now that you got a real team.
Chandelier Bastion can't hurt you. Chandelier Bastion's not real.
Should be your bad.
Chandelier.
Let's move
And
on to both.
Sadly, Billy, I'm gonna have to go with Nixel. So
Wow.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
favorite of the week, which is the shock
Now-
on the Path Eternal.
all right. Yeah, we got Shock and Eternal.
Who's going first?
Shock.
Okay.
Knight Rider goes Shock.
Ooh,
Bull Skunk.
this is a tough one. Paris didn't look super dominant against Boston. Not gonna
But
lie.
also, how good is Boston? Because Boston has really only played Paris since beating the LA Gladiators.
Yeah, I mean that's what's hard to judge on this one. But I mean their stonks still seem super high. Shock are a mixed bag.
They're melee champions.
Yeah,
The Melee champions.
it's true. It's true. Yeah, I'll give it to the Shock
Shock.
because they did look like a championship team at the end of the melee, and they beat Florida, who were looking super strong. So we'll give it to Shock.
Billy.
Yeah.
I think there's upset potential
Absolutely.
here.
I think Ben Best comes out and has a breakout performance.
Oh, he's going
like it.
Paris.
I like it.
I think Ben Best has something to prove right now.
I think there's major upset potential here.
Oh, there's major upset potential
I'm
here.
gonna go with the shock because I feel like this meta is tailor-made to their DPS trio. You gotta play double hit scan. You've got Ons and Striker for double hit scan, and if you want to play the Meg
that's-
position, you've got Rascal.
That's still
So-
dirty to think about. Like their DPS trio, even though they've lost Architect and Sinatra, it's still Striker, Rascal, and freaking Ons.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. I would have to personally go with the San Francisco Shock in a 3-1. But the reason I say 3-1, it's gonna be super close. All the maps are going to be extraordinarily close.
I do like
personally
the
think
hit
so.
and come there. I'm saying it's super close.
But the next map, I'm scared about this one. Atlanta Reign versus Toronto Defiant. Ocean, who you got?
Toronto.
Toronto?
I feel like the extra shot calling that you get in your support line of Cruz and Kariv is definitely going to help you. Because, yes, I do think Kodak is the best support they have. Moss is really a shot caller. But I think we're in the San Baptiste meta for a while. I feel like Kodak has to play in that San Baptiste meta, and without Mossa, they're not going to have the shot calling to get for this series, especially when they're in this sort of rut. And your tank line shit.
Knight Rider?
Toronto.
Toronto. Billy?
Same. Toronto.
Bull Skunk.
I'm actually going Atlanta on this one. I think Atlanta's going to come out pissed off. And Toronto, yeah, they had a good performance against Vancouver, but I'm still thinking Toronto is. I would
But it
still
was
put them in the
Vancouver.
bottom 5. Yeah, exactly. I would still put Toronto in the bottom 5 teams, and I wouldn't go that low with Atlanta just yet.
Not yet. This is the proving game for them, and I'm gonna have to go with Atlanta. I think they win on raw skill alone. No, not like strategies or out strategizing them. I think they win on they run Urster and Baby Bay or Edison and Baby Bay run double hit scan with Codex and Yada and just outplay Surefour agilities.
Fun fact: they both have 5 wins, and they're sitting 12 and 13 in our overall standings. So, as far as rankings, this match is actually super close.
Mm-hmm. I just think Atlanta wins. It may be a closer series, but I think Atlanta wins off of pure skill.
Okay, let's take it over to the Los Angeles Gladiators versus the Houston Outlaws. Houston Outlaws, do you remember when they were the kind of like the joke of the season? So they've actually picked up quite a pretty okay record, but they come against an informed Los Angeles Gladiators side who just picked up Capster and a double hit scan mana, and I am scared.
Gladiators.
I think Gladiators are on the rise here.
I think it's 3-0 too. I don't think that.
Yeah,
I don't think Houston even takes a map off of them. I think Kevster.
Houston keeps trying to
dots
play
the ice.
Houston keeps trying to play Raucous over Repel.
Oh my god, you're putting Raucous in over Repel.
Talk about a washout or washed up. Raucous is washed up.
Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't playing bad, but Repel genuinely is one of the most, when he's on form, is one of the most terrifying supports in the league.
Like Repel benched.
We'll get to your question, Okemo. We're just finishing up our predictions here.
Yeah.
Knight Rider, who you got? Houston or LA Gladiators? Huh?
I'm gonna have to go LA just because of Kevster.
Doge Stomp. All right, moving on. We are moving on to the Dallas Fuel.
You know, he's gonna come in fresh and everything, and
hey, he just came off of a championship win too.
He's gonna.
Yeah, but that's getting on that owl stage. I mean, we've seen it time and time again.
I mean, you're not really going onto this oil stage now. You're kind of just walking into your what looks like the Gladiators have actually forced their support players into their kitchen with like a backboard.
But I mean, even we saw it with Sparkle a bit over the weekend. I mean, and Sparkle even admitted to it. I mean, even though you're not actually on a physical stage, just playing at this level, there are nerves that are going to come along with it, and it is going to take time to gel.
Well, no offense, you're going from, and like this could be a mental thing with it. You're going from a couple thousand views at most for contenders to, I think Owl's minimum has been like 24K.
Yeah, it's about 40 right now. It's gone up since May Melee.
But I mean, here's the thing: they're not going on the stage. That's the one qualifier that I think that these new recruits coming out of Tier 2 going into the Owl stages that they're not going onto the stage. They're going onto just another computer. I think that's where
to another computer, and I think it's just a little bit mental. And once like players like Sparkle and stuff like that, just get it out of their head. Like, hey, I'm just on another computer. You're gonna see them.
But I'm saying
explode.
Come out. I mean, Sparkle said it himself. That there was definite nerves involved. I mean, coming out of the player's mouth, who is one of the most promising players we've seen come out of contenders this year, straight up was talking about how the nerves play a big part. So
but also that's also like remember like what we've heard from players in the past about the stage being cool. You've got everyone watching you; they can all see you, and it's also very very difficult. Yes, you've got the face cams on and the player cams right now. But they can all see you. There is an audience in front of you. You are expected to give them a shot.
Especially with the entire Owl community has been talking about, hey, when's Sparkle going to get on stage? When's Sparkle going?
Jesus,
sorry. When is Sparkle going to get on stage? When is Sparkle going to get on stage? When does he turn 18? When does he turn 18? Literally, that has been the story for the Paris Eternal all season.
Right, where they're talking about Rookie of the Year, even though he's only going to play a quarter of it. So, no, there's definitely pressure on Sparkle. But we did digress a bit. I'm just saying, I think Kevster's a great pickup for Glads. I wouldn't expect it to immediately have results. It's going to take time for him to shake off a little bit of jitters and for them to build some synergy. I mean, at the end, I still think Glads are going to 3-0 this, but
Okay, moving on before we keep going into the Path to Pro talk. Dallas Fuel versus the Vancouver Titans.
Fuel.
Yeah, Fuel are
Fuel.
gonna 3-0 this. Yeah,
Fuel.
Fuel are pissed. Their record does not reflect how good this team is.
I mean, their last two opponents have been Florida Mayhem,
And San Francisco Shock.
I mean, they're battle tested. Okay, like they've gone up against the best or some of the best, and they've really held their own. I think they're pissed, just like Bull Skunk said. They're pissed off
Yeah.
for not having gotten the results that they really did deserve.
They really deserved.
But they've also got to fucking close out matches, and that was something I
Agreed.
heard while I
Yeah.
was driving to go get my kid from work. Is that they've got to close out matches. They have been on match point so many times versus some of these elite teams, and they're not closing the damn.
They
match
took
out.
Shock.
And
They've taken Shock to map 5 twice in this season and cannot close it out. And you're talking about
nobody
beating
else has really done that.
Exactly,
just like-
and
and
that's
this is-
that's
no-
where I keep putting stonks into them. I'm a huge Fuel fan. If you're any regular viewers, you're gonna know. I'm a huge Fuel fan, so yeah, I'm a little biased. But I mean, just rooting for them, like guys, you're this close to really grabbing yourself
The only thing
a slot in the top 8.
The only thing I had to say about the Dallas Fuel is I think they performed so well against San Francisco because San Francisco put so much stock into their supports and their tank line. Yes, their DPS are really, really good, but they don't rely on their DPS like Dallas does. Dallas heavily relies on Decay and Doha. And then you go up against a team like Florida that has BQB and Yaki, who have had a renaissance. Like BQB last season, people talked about him being off the Florida Mayhem mid-season, this season. Because remember, he was the Sombra one trick that rarely played last season, and now he's genuinely regarded as one of the best Widowmakers or
coming
hit
into
scan
his
players.
own. Holy cow!
Oh yeah, he's one of the best hit scan players in the league right now. And you have Yaki and BQB arguably at the skill level of Decay and Doha, but then you have to compare the rest of the team, Florida Mayhem to Dallas Fuel, and the Florida Mayhem just stacked up as a better team overall.
But I mean, Mayhem, they got second in that melee. I mean, that's Mayhem looking like a top 3 team right now, unbelievably.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying that Dallas isn't a top 3 team. I'm just saying like
No, Dallas isn't a top
I think
3
that's
team.
the reason.
I'm not.
That's why I think Dallas performs better against San Francisco than they did Florida recently, because also San Francisco is going through a little bit of stuff at the time. But we'll see, and I think it's going to be a 3-0.
Yeah, I think Dallas stomps them on this one. I'll be disappointed if they don't.
Is it sad that I really want them to just the Dallas Fuel people just as a nod to envy, just if they 3-0 the Vancouver Titans, they just do Dallas Stomp instead of Doge Stomp?
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Okay, moving on. Next game, Charge versus Spark.
Ooh. That's actually going to be a good match.
That's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah, that's going to be a good match.
Can I go ahead and ping that as my game of the week?
Yes, you can still that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still ping for game of the week.
Yeah, I want that one because that one's going to be absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
That
I
was
agree
gonna
with
be
that.
I think that Guangzhou takes it in 5.
The Charge, yeah.
Yeah, I think Guangzhou takes it in 5.
I'm going to mirror that. Yeah.
But it could go either way. That one's going to be. I think that's going to be the game of the weekend, just personally for me.
And I think it's gonna depend on how Hangzhou does against the NYXL and whether they have any confidence going into Sunday and how well Architect melds into the team. I think those two are the factors.
If Architect just comes in and keeps his form from San Francisco,
Yeah, then then the Spark are going to win, and it's going to be 3-1. If Architect has his, if he has his moxie about him, his skills are fine. And the other thing is that he's going to an almost all Korean team, correct?
Correct.
only Chinese.
So-
I think there's only one or two Chinese players.
Yeah.
So he's going
You
to
got
more.
Gushue.
No, there's 3. There's
There's
Coldest,
3?
Mika, and Gishwe.
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought it was 2.
So I mean, this is
also-
also going to play
also
into
just
him
going-
as having more Koreans on his team.
Also, another thing is just like you're not downgrading a main tank either. You're getting Gushue. But the thing is that I love about Architect is, remember at the beginning of the season where they put Architect instead of Violet on support?
Yeah, and he was
He's
kicking
very
ass.
Very flexible player.
Yeah.
Just like,
I have Architect
just-
in my fantasy team.
oh, my
Don't
fantasy team is stacked.
don't bring up the no.
Everyone, what was it? Everyone but Ocean is within a win of each other.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
even know
yeah,
where
because
I'm
I
at
was-
right now.
I
Okay.
didn't until Airborne posted my results. Somehow
So
I've won
what
5 in a
Is
row.
on a 5-game win streak with 1 DPS.
Yeah, with a 5-man roster.
None of my players playing because I signed all Koreans.
Yeah.
Really bad. I feel really bad for Mission because his tank line is Fissure and
Yeah, it's OG Titans.
yeah.
It was Runaway.
All right. So for chat, we
Hold-
haven't actually set up.
We'll get
we
to
haven't
that.
set it up yet.
We'll get
Yep.
to chat. We'll get to chat.
Yep.
Let's finish our owl predictions, and we'll get to our 2 chat questions
Okay,
concerning
Hunters
CGL.
Dragons. Hunters Dragons.
Dragons 3-0. Hunters don't look like they've got their shit together.
Dragons.
I went for Guangzhou in the last game, by the way. I wasn't asked. But I went
I
Guangzhou.
thought you said Spark. My bad.
Guangzhou.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going
Dragons 3-0. MIXL
Dragons.
3-0.
Yeah, the next two-
Philadelphia 3-0.
Yeah.
I think
Ooh.
I don't think the Philadelphia Boston game's going to be a 3-0. To be completely honest.
Maybe a 3-1. Either way, Philly still
3-1.
takes it.
I think it's a
Florida
3-1 or
Valiant.
Boston punches Philly in the mouth because
Florida Valiant could be a sleeper badass freaking match.
yes.
Yes.
Valiant have looked really good. And I think
Valiant, if you go look at the standings, Valiant.
let's go look at the standings.
I think Valiant's number 8. Yeah, Valiant's ranked number 8 right now.
Yep, at 7-6. Florida is 10-4. God damn, they have been kicking ass. Holy cow!
Did you know that Florida was 1-2 when they faced the Atlanta Reign, lost to the Atlanta Reign, and haven't lost a game since.
But that doesn't make sense because they have 4 losses.
1-3, my bad. But they haven't lost a game since losing to Atlanta 2 times in a row.
They haven't lost a game in the regular season since whole series tweeted McGravy's tweet, and I think that's what it is.
McGravy saving Florida Mayhem right there unexpectedly. But
Do you
back.
know what? If only retweeted my tweet, I don't think I'd lose another comp game for another 2 years. Be
Oof.
bloody excited, like the adrenaline rush that gives you. You've got it. Done. Easy.
Dude, top
The
5
only
is
thing-
so tight. Guangzhou's sitting at 9-6. They have really come back.
Yeah, nobody's talking about Guangzhou, by the way. Nobody's talking about the Charge that they're
It's-
casually just in there at 9-6, just like, hey.
If you look
I'm
back
here.
at the power ranks at the beginning of the year, I heavily favored
Oh, wait,
Guangzhou.
wait.
I
They
had
also
them,
beat Guangzhou.
They stumbled out of the gate, but they've regained their footing pretty well.
which is what I expected from them. I mean, that's a stacked freaking roster.
Yeah, but I want to predict the win because I really like Dreamer. Dreamer and Lastro were the 2 players I kind of hyped up at the start of the season because we thought this Valiant roster was going to be shit. Like,
Really, everybody thought this Valiant roster was going to be total
Everybody
shit.
thought
Yeah,
this
like,
roster
that was-
was going to be.
That was everybody's 20th ranked team. It was or 19th.
Have you guys seen? Have you seen their GM packing on Twitter? Just laying into people like Zoe and Avast and Ryan Force and all. I mean, everybody. He is just laying into everybody's like.
He
told you
posted.
so.
I remember. I
Told
think
you
he
so.
posted.
Told you so.
No,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he posted. I think he posted their ranking at number. What was it? Number 6 or number 8? My
Uh-huh.
bad. Number 8, and he just posted a picture of that and said, "This roster, like in the SpongeBob meme format, this roster's not Overwatch League level."
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking at their also started season. There were 2 players that kind of stood out to me, which were Lastro from Second Wind and Dreamer from Australian Contenders, a Korean main tank from Australian Contenders. And those 2 have been the standouts, so I did get that right. I just didn't get their players. right at
KSF
all,
and
but I-
KSP have been.
Yeah.
KSP, by the way,
To be fair, when we did our
Jesus
power ranking,
Christ.
KSP hadn't joined.
It's true.
fair enough.
It's true.
He would've been a long
KSP
higher.
has been.
All right. All right.
God,
We're drawing this out too much. Let's get our picks in. Okay, so this is gonna be this could go either way. Who you think are gonna take it here, friends? Airborne, start with you. Repeat that. You cut out.
Florida Mayhem.
Florida? Okay. Ocean.
Yeah.
Florida Mayhem.
I think I'm going to have to give it to Florida as well, though I'd love to see Valiant get the upset. Ryder?
Florida.
4 for Florida. Billy, you going to be the black sheep here? Or you going
Of course
Valiant?
he is. He's Jeff Billy.
Going LAV. I like it. I like it.
I'm liking what's coming from the top down.
I'm kind of rooting for
Yeah,
Valiant on this one.
Florida.
I'm not going to lie.
Let's
San
not talk
Francisco
about
versus
the
Washington Justice.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about the game. Let's talk about Washington Justice and their new head coach, Supreme. And I think another reason why they have looked so shit in the past week. This
He
week,
died.
Yeah,
John Galt left over the off season. He's not there anymore.
right.
And they got a head coach today. They didn't have a head coach last week.
So they haven't had a head coach the entire year.
John Galt left in not the off season, but like the little break after the MLA to focus on studies.
Right.
They didn't have a head coach going into last weekend's games.
That's right. That's right. I was about to
How
say.
much do you want to bet that the freaking Washington Justice pulls what they did last season and waits until like the last 10 games to suddenly like win 5 in a row?
Nope. Not going to happen.
Nope.
Well, no, I mean you got.
You don't have
Johnny
Ellie
Dion,
Vogt.
correct me.
Yeah,
I
you
mean, you
don't
got
have.
You don't need Elliot.
Yeah, you don't have Corey or Stratus. And that's.
Nope.
I mean, it was Corey
Wait till
popping
Stitch
off.
is back. Well, watch Stitch pop off, watch Orange pop off, and watch. Oh fuck! That's only 3 of their team members. The rest of them are poo.
Hey.
That rounds out week 20 of the Overwatch League. Before we close
Actually,
out.
before we do close out on Overwatch League and then we'll go to our outro, I do want to talk about one player in the Washington Justice who I think has been, I mean, in my opinion, the worst player in the league who starts consistently. I think that's M-God. M-God has been terrible.
I haven't watched a whole
remember
lot of Justice recently, not going to lie.
I have no reason to.
Yeah, with what little
I don't think
all I've
anyone
gotten
has a
to
reason
watch,
to.
I'm not spending it watching the Justice.
So
Right.
when Vancouver came into the league and played against Justice and won a map, M-God got hacked out of every kill with it. He looked bad on Moira.
How do you look bad on Moira? Like, that's just
He
a...
was getting hacked out of every kill with lessons. He was getting picked. It was appalling.
Right.
I think he's been like the worst consistent starter out of every player. Who
Comparatively, stats wise, let's compare him to another top healer.
Jonah.
If you compare him to Big Goose,
Oh, big
Mm.
goose.
Why are you comparing a flex support to an in support?
I'm looking for a main support that's on the same page, but they're not. I
That's-
see Arc on the same page.
That term, I don't think just even has any relevance anymore.
Not really.
As between main support and flex support, like there's it does not have the same definitive nature as main tank and flex tank or off
Fine,
tank.
okay. I want you to see Crimso play Lucio and Mercy. Go on.
No, I'm not saying that there's not specialties. I just think calling one a main support and calling one the off support or the flex support is kind of irrelevant
Either way-
terms.
Either
Like there's
way,
got to be
I
better
just-
terminology for it at this point.
Washington has the talent on there to at least be decent, but they're just not.
Actually, if you, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the 3 main supports in the game currently are Brig, Lucio, and Mercy. Put those together, that means BLM, which means Black Lives Matter.
Okay. But
Black
Sorry.
Lives Matter.
I mean, calling
The only
Lucio a
person
main
was-
support, like really? I mean,
No, but main support player plays him. That's not main support players play Lucio. That's always been the case.
I understand. Again, I'm
Right?
just getting down to the semantics of it. Like I think it's such a stupid term. Like
Yes,
that-
main support players are Lucio, Mercy, and Brig. Right? Flex support players are on a Moira, which do the healings. The term main support is not main heals. It's main support. They are your main support.
Main
outlet.
utility.
It's
Yeah, they're
again, you're splitting hairs on just horrible terminology.
But this
It's-
is
it's-
We
this is
just
what-
say they're supports.
It's confusing and it doesn't make any sense.
they're
Let us
always
move on.
support, not healers. Support, Brig, armor pack. Armor pack is the most
I understand the definition of a support. I just think calling anything a main support is just misleading because it's not your main tank is your primary shielding, is your front line. is who sets the standard for the rest of your composition.
Yeah, your
A
break sets the
main
standard for your-
support doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make
Yeah,
any
break-
sense.
It does for Brigitte.
Anyway.
It does for Brigitte. I'm gonna say that.
God.
All right, so we did have 2 questions in chat before we close it out. One talking about oddballs from Tier 2, who went 8-1 in the regular season. What happened in playoffs?
They lost to Pack Academy.
Did they lose to Pack in playoffs?
Did they lose to Pack Academy? I think that's what it was, right?
Sounds right. Here, let's pull it up.
I think I'm right. I should know this.
You should know
I think
this.
they lost-
You should know this.
They lost to Pack Academy.
I should probably know this
last
too.
night.
No, they beat Pack Academy. Or no, did
Oh,
they?
they beat Pack Academy. No.
Oh, it's not
I think they
updated
lost-
yet. I think they did lose to Pack. I think you're right. I think they did lose to Pack. It's not updated yet.
Yeah.
Did oddballs go to finals?
No.
No, I don't think so. I think they
Okay,
lost in semifinals to Pack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Pack.
I think Pack Academy are in finals. Yes.
That's Headrimmer is hasn't been able to get all this updated yet. Which
Headrummer is
Yeah.
actually currently. I've heard from Dan. Headrummer is currently ill, so everyone send prayers to Headrummer.
exactly. No,
Yeah.
that's why he hasn't
I-
been able to get these things updated yet. So that's
He's actually in hospital. So
Yes. Is he
Jesus.
still in hospital?
yeah, he's in
Jeez.
hospital.
Oh.
That's why I've been spamming it around. Please send a couple of positive energy and good
Yeah,
thoughts.
thoughts and prayers to
him.
Headrimmer. That dude's an absolute fucking beast. I mean,
Yep.
I think it's easy to underestimate how much that guy does for the community and for the scene and for CGL. Headrimmer's a beast.
And for us personally, I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's just jumping up and learning to produce because they need more producers. I mean, he's one actually stepping up when it's needed most. So
Yes.
much love and respect to
Uh,
Headrimmer. Sending everything his
Ed
way.
Remmer, if you're watching, buddy, we miss you and love you, man.
Yeah, seriously, get well, dude. Get well.
So
And-
what we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly end off our stream here. I think we've
well, we had one more question.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah.
So
Who do we have in
Caden,
T6? Yes.
Don't Godot hopeful DPS lane they win.
Nope, they already lost.
Nope,
They're already out.
I know.
Los Mojados
Yeah.
beat them.
Los Mojados.
Los Mojados
they're-
dismantled
Oh,
Gatekeepers.
that's Carnage's team, isn't it? It's Carnage and Vinny. Right?
No,
That's
Vinny's on Gatekeepers, I believe.
Yeah.
Gatekeepers was the amalgamation of Vinny's Backpack Banditos and Alvarez and the Chipmunks. Like,
No, because Shan was the off tank on that team. Shan was with Godot. They split up.
yeah, kind
Yeah.
of. Kind
Yeah.
of.
I'm going to. Hang on.
But no, so your T6 finals are was it Galaxy? I mean, no, not Galaxy Nova. Who was the 4th seed that won? Versus
Galaxy.
was it Galaxy Nova? I think it was Galaxy Nova.
Mhm.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
upset Airborne.
yeah. They're the
Yeah,
ones
no,
who
it's
beat
Vinny.
Airborne
Yeah.
Tamarins. Yeah, it's Galaxy
Yeah, no.
Nova versus Los Mojados. Is your Tier 6
It's-
finals?
Yeah, no, it is. It's Vinny, Carnage, Delania, Sir James Parker, Masuda, Relixes, AM, who was the popping main support in LXS.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is General Carnage and Vinny. So Vinny actually might win a title for once and not bottle it.
Dude, that's been the meme going on, especially on Twitter. And somebody tweeted it out there, and Scary Dragons came in and said, "Nah, he's not gonna win."
Giving it to
So-
Galaxy, huh?
So
Yep.
What's the Galaxy team called in Tier 6?
Supernova.
Yeah, it's Supernova.
It's like they dismantled Airborne. Like it wasn't
Yes.
a 3-0.
It wasn't close.
It wasn't even close.
So you guys got Galaxy winning it.
I think
I do.
so. Yeah.
I do.
So also, we didn't actually answer that last question. We just said that they lost. So what was your guys' opinions on Oddballs Tier 2?
I mean, they had a great showing. They had a great year. It
Yeah,
was
I
a
mean,
team
for
I was
you-
not very familiar with. I didn't see them in the off season, so I didn't really know anything about them coming into season 7 of the MTT. And I mean, they were impressive.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think
coming
I-
up,
I don't think I cast them. We didn't cast them but once, though, did we?
we did them once.
Yeah, I think we cast them
Yeah.
once.
They kind of got weird with me. They kind of got weird with me going into my DMs and saying I'm a big fan and not like saying what team they were with. That I had to like go do the.
Research.
And then I ended up facing them in ladder and stomping their faces.
So I'm looking. Sorry, I am looking at the Supernova team.
But they were a good
I'm
team,
sure
seriously. A newer org, as I believe they have a tier 3 team too. Yeah, I mean,
I have to go pull up the
Iremi,
roster. Oh
Iremi,
yeah.
Iremi is a beast for a tier 2 player. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, no, I
Yep.
remember Iremi. Let's go
Yeah,
pull up that roster.
before we close it out, I'm looking at the Galaxy roster.
Iremi sucks.
Wow.
I remember him impressing in that game.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh well. See, this
Oh,
this is all self-serving.
Yeah, I was
here.
about to say, yeah, this is a little self-serving. Iremi's their captain.
Wait. Let me do the standard CGL. Who are you, Okimo?
Yeah, the standard CGL meme. Okay, and so yeah, back to pulling up Galaxy's roster.
So Galaxy's roster in tier 6. I'm looking at it, and I don't see how they've made finals, to be honest. And that's in the nicest way possible. They are very talented players. I know Waya is very hardworking, as is Utility X. They have a lot of really hardworking players.
They looked
Maybe that's-
really coordinated.
and
Like they
were
looked
coached,
really freaking coordinated.
Yeah, but I am looking at their roster, and I don't see them winning a title. No offense, that they have worked very, very hard by the looks of things.
Wea, are you
nothing-
kidding? Wea was just clicking heads left and right. Wea fucking ran away with that game against the Tamarins.
Wea on the Ash.
On the Ash.
With or without the Mercy Pocket was absolutely fucking kids left and right. There's no other way to put it.
Just
I
nutty.
Wyatt is a good and hardworking player, but other than Wyatt and other than Utility X, when I look at their roster, I don't see champion.
I understand. Go back and watch.
It's like-
Go back and watch them
Go back and
play
watch-
the number 1 seed.
Yeah, go back and watch.
Go back and watch them play
Okay,
the number
okay,
1
okay.
seed.
Are the Tamarins the best team on console watch? No, they're not.
I didn't say that. I didn't say watch them play the
They
best
were-
team. I said watch them play the number 1 seed, and they were.
Yeah,
I
they
think
beat the number 1 seed, but that's not a roster.
think-
Look,
I
the other
think
game
Gatekeepers
was
was the best team.
Yeah, but Gatekeepers. Yeah, I would say Gatekeepers was the best team, and they got fucking beat too. So
Yeah, but I just don't see how they win the finals. But they've worked incredibly hard. But you're going up against General Carnage.
Oh,
Fine.
that's right. That's what happened with that match. Yeah. No, actually, they something about I can't remember. I was telling you about.
oh,
it.
did Oddballs have to
Voltron.
forfeit the semifinal match?
Yeah, they had it
Oh.
because of it was either a player DC or something happened. They called me in there to find out the rules and stuff. Apparently, I become like the official go-to person for the CGL when teams have questions like if somebody forgets to give a pause or if somebody
Right. No, I
DCs.
understand. Yeah.
So they've been like, I get pinged a lot by it, and I'm happy to do it. But I mean, something happened, and Oddballs ended up having to forfeit.
Gotcha. Oh, unluckers. I mean, Oddballs had a great showing though. Y'all come back in the 8th iteration and kick some ass, no doubt.
Yeah, they were.
No, I
they
think
were
I think
top five,
Oddball.
top six.
I think Oddball will go to. They probably should go tier 3, and really show their mettle because they were actually damn good. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
they're probably
When
top
that-
5, top 6 in tier 2.
And that was a tough division too.
Yeah,
Let me see if I got that.
they are going tier 3. Yeah, okay.
They are going tier 3. Nice, good job, y'all.
I will be looking forward to seing you.
But
they are making an org too.
But that was the
Don't-
division with Pack, Hateful, GC Storm. Like that was a wicked tough division.
That was
And,
a group of death.
and they performed really well. No, props to you. Props.
Yeah, props to you,
What's
buddy.
up
Pack-
with the spam? Why are you throwing spam at Blaze?
So we got Pack, Hateful, who are probably top 6 teams. Sunny with a Chance of Rain, number 1, and then probably that. And all Bulls are probably a top 5 team.
That's no
So,
one, by the way. Not number 1. No one.
No one. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, then
it's-
you don't
we-
have such a confusing name.
Yeah, Blaze. That's really not
Yeah,
Needed.
I'm working on
needed.
it.
Anyways, that will close out our podcast, I think. We do have sponsors. Yes, CST does have sponsors for their podcast. Honestly, it's getting really late at night. It's 3 o'clock. I've kind of lost my way. So we're gonna close out this podcast. Thank y'all for showing up to D.VA, my podcast episode. What episode are we on? Like 21?
This is
22?
21. Yeah, episode 21. We can finally drink. The podcast is old enough to drink. At least in the States.
Which is what I'll be doing here in a few minutes.
Oh, I have alcohol. I should probably join you.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan. All right.
The ocean.
We're gonna
Ocean, get us out of here.
Ocean.
We're gonna have some adult
Go ahead.
beverages.
What?
Ocean. Do you want to stream?
Yes, we can stream. But anyways, remember to check out toysandclothing.co, not .com. If you use code Stream Console, all in capital letters, 15% off your order, and 15% goes right back to you in the scene. That's super cool, right? You know, we get money, you get money. It's super cool for everyone. So just do it. It's all difficult. And then we also sponsor No Name Nerd. You know, they just give us a shirt recently. We'll be giving that away soon. That's pretty awesome. And yeah, those are our sponsors. We also do a lot of casting and tournaments. Go check out Bolska. Oh, yeah, we're already on Bolska's Twitch. That's stupid. Go check out Elo Hell on Twitter.
Well, you can go, check out all of our Twitters. Our Twitter handles are in the blue. And go check out DMC on SoundCloud as well. I believe that's DJ DMCCC. He's the one that does our music for us. So
talented.
He's
so
huge.
talented.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
All right. Ocean, take us home.
Well, thanks for joining us. Those are our sponsors. This is a D.VA, my podcast. It's
Affiliates.
It's gone. Affiliates. Sorry, you actually wrote sponsor. And you gave me a little speech to say, here's our sponsors. And he wrote sponsors.
Affiliates.
So
Affiliates.
they are affiliates.
So much nicer
nice,
to say.
All right.
All right. But anyways, thanks for chilling with us.
Bye.
Thanks for hiding with us.
Bye.
That's okay. I'll be